Hey guys, I just got back from previewing Greece and I'm going to tell you everything we got to do while there. So on March 8th, which was the first day of technically spring break, it was a Saturday, we left the school at about 5:45 for our 11 o'clock flight because we had to drive from Arcadia to Newark Airport. And then we got there, had some food before we got on the plane. Because of the time difference, like we left the airport about like 11, but we didn't land until like 9 p.m. in Greece time. So it was like a little weird because like we weren't ready to go to sleep, but then we also were, but for some reason it was like weirder. So a lot of people slept the first like flight, like all the way through. But if you have like a show, like it's really not that bad. Once we landed in Athens, we took a bus, which was like the bus that was like kind of driving us around the whole time. We took a bus to our hotel in Nafplio, which is where we stayed the first 2 nights. Nafplio was absolutely amazing, and I'll get into what we did each day, but I had a lot of people on the trip like agreed that was like probably their favorite part. And on our way to the airport, we actually stopped to see this like canal thing. It was super cool. Here's what it looked like. It like was so pretty also because the sun was like setting, so it was like sunset and this like canal, and it was reflecting on the water, and it was really cool. Here's what the hotel looked like, and here's what the bathroom looked like. It was super like, this one was really small. Our Athens one was bigger because it's more like touristy there, but it wasn't too bad. If you know the person you're living with, like it's really not that bad, and everyone who goes is super nice and like understands that like this probably isn't like the perfect setup, but the bed was big enough. You just weren't kind of able to open up your suitcase and like keep it open. You had to like open it up on the floor, take what you need, and then close. So it was just like a little extra work, but not bad at all. I will say the bathrooms in Greece, this was a really nice bathroom to have because usually they don't have the lip at the bottom to like stop the water from running out. So it was really nice to have that. So since we landed so late, we really only like walked around a little bit and then got dinner. I just had this pasta dish. I love pasta, so I definitely knew that I wanted to get that a lot while in Greece. So we got dinner and then came back and then went to sleep because we had a full day of activities the next day. So the next morning we got up and we had breakfast at the hotel. The people were so nice there, and when you walk down, they were like, do you want fresh squeezed orange juice, which is a big thing in Greece, and it was so good, and I'm gonna miss that so much. So we had like fresh squeezed orange juice, and like I tried like a couple of the different things. Like they had almost like a mini like baklava, and then like some like sandwich meats and stuff and eggs, and so like I had a little plate, which was super good, and I loved like trying stuff like even the first night. So after breakfast, we got on the bus and we drove to the Mycenae archaeological site, and we got to like hike up that trail, and it was super cool. And like the mountains are insane in Greece, so being like that high up and close to the mountains was super cool. I got some really cool pictures there, and like here's a few videos. It was literally so pretty, and everyone could not like even say anything because everyone was just in awe. And it was super cool to like see the signs and read them about like what it was, what the idea was of like what the structures used to be, because like you could see like almost like the bricks of stone like still there, like kind of marking out like how the house was laid out and stuff. So that was really cool to see. Next, we went to lunch at the Kolizeros restaurant, which was really fun. I got my first kebab there, so that was really fun. And then also my table decided we were gonna do like some desserts and stuff. So we got 3 different desserts, but our favorite was this brownie. It was so good. I don't even know what was going on. I was worried because like you can see that there's like a little bit of like still like brownie like batter kind of at the bottom, but it was so good with just like the layer of crust on top. It was perfect. After the restaurant, we came back and we had some free time in Nafplio. So me and my friend Caitlin, who went on the trip together, we walked around because Nafplio is like more like a smaller town. I was kind of like getting the feel of like, you know, small little shops and different things that were going on there. So we kind of went to we did a little shopping there, and then got dinner, and it was super fun. And then we went back to the hotel. like picked out, like showered and picked out our outfits for the next day, and then got to go to bed. The next day was super packed of a bunch of fun stuff. So we had breakfast again in the hotel. I got kind of the same things that I got the day before. Of course, the fresh squeezed orange juice. Then we went to the Harrion of Paracora, which was literally stunning. I'm just gonna let you watch this video. It was so pretty. So we got to see that, and it was so cool. And this was like our first touch of a beach, and a lot of people were like, I want to be at a Greece beach. So here I got like a couple cool like shells and like sandstones, and like got to like just see the ocean for the first time. So it was really cool. Then we hopped back on the bus and went and headed to Athens. So once we arrived in Athens, this is what our hotel looked like. It was so pretty. I didn't really get a picture of inside the room because we were literally like, put your stuff in and go. So it was a bit bigger, but this one didn't have the lip to the shower. So this was like kind of like we were experimenting the European, like get yourself, like let the water hit you, and then, you know, wash your hair, wash your body, and then rinse it off. Like we could not have like the water on super long. So that was like a big culture shock for us. But it was much bigger than the other one. We also had 2 separate beds in this one. But it was really nice being able to just have my suitcase open, and like, obviously I would lock it like when we left, but to have it like to be able to stay open and I not have to like worry about not being able to get like move around the room was like really nice. In Athens, we went and saw the Acropolis, which is like a big thing in Athens. It's basically like the structure that's like in the middle of the city, and it was so cool like going there and like seeing all the like stuff underneath. The museum was so cool, and like seeing the site was super cool too. And so I had a lot of fun there. And then also the like city around the Acropolis was really touristy, but it had like really good shops where I could get some like cool gifts and trinkets and stuff for my family that I could bring back. So that was really fun. And we got to see a Greece McDonald's, and a lot of people said it was really good, so I don't know. So then we had lunch, which was super good. Then we did some more shopping, and then for dinner I was literally craving pizza, which like is not something I usually crave, but I had the best pizza of my life. And it's actually kind of ironic because the pizza like tasted good. It tasted like, you know, pizza, but I got this Philadelphia crust, and it was actually the best thing I've ever tasted. It was just like stuffed crust with cheese, but they used like such a good cheese. I don't know what it is. I should have asked. And it was so good. It was so good, and I'm gonna miss that pizza forever. I keep saying that, but genuinely, like, I'm gonna miss that. After dinner, I think we hung out in the rooms for a little bit and then headed to bed because we also had a really long day the next day. So now on day 4 of the trip, we got up, had breakfast at the new hotel, which was really good. And the people were super nice there as well, so that was really exciting. We were supposed to go to Thebes, Theologos, and Delphi, but there was so much traffic in the morning, so when we got to Thebes, we were already like an hour behind. So we scratched Theologos, and we only got to go to Delphi after that, but those were some really cool cities, and I had a lot of fun there at their museums and stuff. And then we came back, had some free time. So a lot of people went to like the Athens like big shopping center, and like got to really explore the city this day, which was cool. We also got to be on the metro, so that was really fun, like experimenting with that and like getting that pass for that. So I had a lot of fun that day. Day 5 was probably my favorite day because we woke up, had breakfast at the hotel, and then we got on our bus and drove to a port to get onto a ferry to go to the island of Aegina. And I'd never even heard of this island, but it is so beautiful, and like you can see like the edge of the island, and I got to see that, which was so cool. But the island's like, right, you know, it's an island, so they're known for like fishing and stuff. So I had some really good salmon. Here's what my plate looked like. It was incredible. And then this island's also known for their pistachios. So like I went into a store and we got like some chocolate covered pistachios. I also got some honey from this island because they like were really into like tea and stuff. We also got to see the Temple of Apphia, and her story is super cool. She's like the goddess of like nurture and like mothering, and like just her like story was really cool. And we got to read about it in her museum right next to her temple. So that was really cool, and that's the only place that she's like kind of believed in and like celebrated. So that was also really cool, like kind of like feeling like the islandy like small town like way of life was really cool. Also, like there was like horses and like chariots while going around, which was cool. And then like everyone had like a motorcycle, which is also something I loved, which is kind of like everywhere in Greece, but seeing that on like the smaller island was really cool. We stayed there a few extra hours just because of it was so beautiful and amazing. So when we got back, we took the ferry back and then bus back. No, I'm sorry, we took the metro back to the city. Some people just went straight into the city, and some people went back to the hotel to like change and then go back out, which is what we did. And then did some more like sightseeing in the city, walked around, got dinner, and it was a super fun day. The next day we explored Sunya, which was really cool. Here's a few pictures from it. And then this day we also had a free day, so we kind of just did the same thing, exploring the city and like doing the metro and like trying to like do as many fun things as we could. I really appreciated these fun days. I'm not really like going into detail about what we did because it really was just like walking around and being like in awe of like we're literally in Athens, Greece right now. But basically the whole time I'm like shopping for things for like my family and like souvenirs and stuff. So like seeing those stores was really cool. So after the long day of like exploring and walking around and stuff, we went back to our room because we needed a couple hours to like pack up all our stuff and like reorganize and figure out how we were gonna fit everything into our backpack and suitcase because the next day we were leaving. So we took a few hours to do that and then got in our pajamas, got ready for bed, did all our shower stuff, and went to bed. The next morning we weren't leaving until 12, so we got up, finished packing, had everything ready, got dressed, and we went out and just had a quick breakfast before we had to head back. So that was really fun. I just got a chocolate and banana crepe. It was beautiful. And then I also had some Greek yogurt because it was the last time, so of course I had to get some Greek yogurt before I left Greece. So then we went back and we hopped on the bus and we were saying bye to Greece the whole time. It was so sad. Overall, if you come to Arcadia, doing preview is a must, absolutely must do, because it is so much fun. And when would you get the chance to do this again? Especially the price is so good. So I would really, really recommend that if you're coming to Arcadia that you plan on going on preview if you're not planning on doing FISI, first year study abroad, because that can be a little overwhelming if you've like never left the country or never traveled. So definitely get this taste of traveling outside the country in this small week and seeing everything. There's also tons of other previews to choose from. I got into Greece, so I was super excited. So I can only say for Greece, but all my friends like who went to like Costa Rica and Bali and Italy, they had so much fun as well. So there's really no like getting a bad place. Also the people who went like to Dublin and Scotland, like they had a great time as well. So really I recommend it to everyone, and if you come I hope you have a great time. Thank you guys for watching.